dog in the street.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Twin City Sports Talk. We got a pretty simple episode today. We're going to be talking some Timberwolves basketball because they are back from the All-Star break. And tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot about the USA hockey game. But before any of that, we're going to start with our sponsor for today, Kitchen Wise Closet Wise. It's a family-owned, operated business proudly serving the Twin Cities and surrounding areas. If you're ready to truly maximize your space, they're the team to know. They're specializing in custom solutions designed around how you actually live. Kitchens, closets, pantries, garages, and more. They transform underused or cluttered spaces into something both beautiful and highly functional. What sets KitchenWise ClosetWise apart is their focus on smart layouts, quality materials, and custom designs that make the most of every inch. If you want the storage and the spaces to work harder for you, KitchenWise and ClosetWise will make it happen. Tell them Twin City Sports Talk sent you, and thank you for sponsoring KitchenWise ClosetWise. But before I want to get to the Timberwolves talk, I want to just harp on how beautiful Walker Jenkins' swing is. For anyone that has Twins TV and anyone that paid any attention to the Twins' little exhibition game against the Minnesota Golden Gophers yesterday, so it was actually kind of fun, but it's like it was not like competitive at all. It wasn't supposed to be at all, but it's kind of just a fun exhibition game before the Twins start their spring training games today. Today they got Boston, which we're obviously not going to be making predictions on the show about spring training games. That's pathetic. I don't really know who's going to be starting for the Twins today, but it is Joe Ryan. Okay, perfect. I'm excited to watch this one. I'll be on the road, so I'll probably be listening to it, but either way, should be a fun one. It definitely should be. And last night, I just want to, like I said, harp on Walker Jenkins because Walker Jenkins has an identical swing to Joe Mauer. It is very freakishly similar, and it's fun to see from your top prospect because, I mean, Joe Mauer being such an icon, such an influential guy within this franchise, and honestly, this whole state being like growing up here, Joe Mauer meant everything to the state of Minnesota. Walker Jenkins obviously not from Minnesota, but if he can have like just an ounce of the career Joe Mauer had, Twins got a good one. The swing shows it. He had a nice double yesterday, which probably should have been a single in many cases, but we're not going to talk about that. Either way, it was a double. Twins beat the Gophers like 10-3. So, I mean, yeah, it was never really going to be close because, well, it's an MLB team facing a college team, even if all of those MLB players are really minor leaguers and everything like that. But Zebby did pitch yesterday, got a few strikeouts. But here's the thing: it's kind of backhanded because pitchers in spring training, they're focused on trying out some new pitches they may have had this off season. It's not. They're not trying to their greatest ability. They're saving that for the season, which is always good. But they usually don't put this Gophers game on the gosh dang like Twins TV or televised either way. So it was definitely fun to be able to watch the game. But now we're going to get to some more sad. Yesterday, Pablo Lopez got the official word that he's getting Tommy John surgery this year. So Pablo Lopez is out for the year, which we already kind of knew. We already made an episode about that, but we were kind of waiting. It was kind of weird. Second opinion happened, so he got a couple opinions on it to figure out what's going on with the elbow, the UCL, and it kind of took them a while to come out with the news. But yeah, yesterday came out with the news. Pablo Lopez done for the year, Tommy John surgery. So the Twins season is starting out just incredible, just like how all of us thought and wanted it to, right? I am like especially upset about this because we did a video where we said a breakout star, an all-star, and a disappointment this year. And of course, I may have jinxed us. Because I said Pablo Lopez would be a Twins all-star this year. I was very confident in him coming into this year. He pitched really well in the 14 games he pitched last year, 13. 2023 was obviously a very good year from him, but the main part and the main reason for that was his sweeper. His sweeper was unhittable in 23, and that's where a bunch of his strikeouts came off of it. And then when you have a good sweeper, when you have a good slider, you can play off of it with a good 95, 96 mile per hour fastball, which he did. And so it always worked well. But then 2024, the spin rate with the sweeper just wasn't at the same like velocity and spin rate and all the advanced metrics. It wasn't the same as 2023. I was very confident that he was going to get back into that and really kind of resurge himself into like a top starting pitcher spot, like a real ace. So I was confident. So yeah, it stinks. It stinks. But hey, Minnesota Twins season starting.
We're gonna win, Twins.
Yeah, but that's not what we're going to be talking about today. Mostly today, we're talking about some Wolves basketball. Wolves All-Star break ended yesterday. They played the Dallas Mavericks last night in a game that was kind of close throughout the whole thing, to be completely honest, pretty close. Wolves ended up coming out with the win 122-111, but they had an 18-point lead at one point, and that's never a spot you really if the game's this close. I know they won by 11, but the game was pretty close come second and third quarter, but they had an 18-point lead at one point. That cannot happen. But a few notable things, obviously Ant with the 40 bomb for Ant. Rudy Gobert, another great night. 17 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds. So that's a winning formula right there. When you can get 10 offensive boards, you're just opening up opportunities. That's something Rudy's been doing really good this year. But Rudy had 22 points, even though he got the flagrant. So I wonder if he would have had a 30 bomb there. Either way, well, sorry, he didn't get kicked out of this game, but Rudy is now suspended for a game. I think, if I'm not mistaken, likely to be suspended for Sunday's game, I'm assuming. Yeah, either way, Randall, not a good night. Naz Reid, I mean, everyone saw the poster he had. Got the pass half court behind the back, went in, posterized. Was it Gafford? I forget, but either way, this Mavericks team just has no help. I mean, obviously Kyrie Irving is their big star, but he's been out the whole year, and he just announced that he'll be out for this entire year. Hopefully going to be healthy next year. But Cooper Flagg is the big one here. Flagg had the foot injury that was nagging him on going into this game. But so their starting five is Chris Middleton. I think it's Najee Marshall. I think maybe it's Nick Marshall. Najee, I think. But then old Minnesota guy Tyus Jones, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford. So not really. They just lack a star. Chris Middleton is not kind of what he used to be. He's been in the league for many, many years now. So here's the thing. It's one of those small teams. It's one of those not good teams. But the Wolves actually won last night, and I'm going to pop up our schedule for the month of February. Right here, if you guys see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games in the month of February. This obviously is a short month, but if you look here, below 500 team, 500, above 5, below. 76ers are above, below for the Trailblazers, below for the Clippers. So if you're counting with me here, 2 of the 10 games you had in this month of February were against teams above 500. And then you're facing some of the worst teams in the league, the Blazers, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, the Mavericks, the Trailblazers again. The Clippers have been not cohesive all year. What we said on the show is the Wolves, if they wanted to jump, this Western Conference is very, very close for the playoff standings right now, and I do not want to end up in the NBA Cup to make it into the postseason or the play-in, not the NBA Cup. Not what I meant there at all. That is not a spot I want to be in. I don't want to have to win, even if you're the 17th judge. I think you just have to win one game there. I don't want that to be our. I don't want that. I don't want to get in that way. I think that's stupid. Either way, we are one game behind Denver, who's in third place, and we're like 3.5 games behind the Spurs. And what I'm trying to harp at here, I'm getting sidetracked, but a loss to the Grizzlies, a loss to the Pelicans, a loss to the Clippers. Going into this month, we said if you want to get like this is the time you need to jump up. Super easy month in the Western Conference. You need to go 8-2 or 9-1, which they've already failed at that. Now they've put together a little nice winning streak. Big win against the Hawks, big win against the Blazers. Okay win coming out of the All-Star break against the Mavericks. Either way, the 76ers game, that's a big one. 76ers are above 500, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 30-25. But you need to win these last 3 games and make this month at least viable, because look at the start of next month. You get the Nuggets. The Grizzlies are an easy game. They are an easy game. Magic aren't bad, above 500. Raptors above 500. Lakers, good. Clippers, no. Warriors, Thunder, Suns, Jazz, Blazers, but then it keeps going. Celtics, Rockets. The next month has a bunch of big games, a bunch of big and tough games. So if you lose 2 of these games or even one of these, the Wolves need to put together a big winning streak because the team's way too good. They added at the deadline with Io. They're proving to the whole nation and to Minnesota that they want to compete for the championship. To do that, you need to climb in the standings instead of showing up to some of these games blank. Just some of these games you show up and do nothing, like this Pelicans game here and like this Clippers game. The Clippers game was god awful. It was horrible to watch, not fun to watch at all. Yeah, not good at all. But it was a good win last night against the Mavericks. And one thing I want to talk about is something we always do is we look at the West and see, am I taking this Wolves team over that team right now? That's kind of what we're going to do right now. We're going to do everything above. I'm going to talk a little bit about each one, but how the Wolves are playing right now, it's a good brand of basketball. They're getting points off of turnovers. Io is really making an impact off the bench. Naz Reid is becoming a little bit more consistent because he'll have a game where he hits 5 threes and the next he's 1 for 9 or like 0 for 8. He is very, very hot and cold in that scenario. But this Wolves team versus the Lakers. Now, we've done this before, and Trevor on the show, he is not a Lakers fan at all. He's a Wolves fan, but in this segment, you would think he's a Lakers fan because he will not. And here's the thing, the Lakers, this is the deepest their roster has been in, a long time. Marcus Smart off the bench, Austin Reeves. And they're kind of built everywhere. They got their 2 centers in Ayton and Jackson Hayes. LeBron is like, he's a factor, but he's just not that big of a factor. He really isn't, in my opinion, anymore. There's no defense with him. You're not going to get anything on that side of the ball, and I get it, being 41 or whatever he is, but yeah, either way. Lakers, Wolves in a 7-game series in the playoffs. I still have the Wolves winning that. I think they'd win like in 6. I don't think that goes to 7 games. I think the Lakers do better than they did in this last postseason, but yeah, I don't see the Lakers coming out with a win right there at all. All right, next one is the Houston Rockets. So the Rockets, they're a different breed this year. Always playing hard. They don't really have games. So their offense can go cold sometimes. They had a stretch here right before the All-Star break where I think the points they scored were very uneven. 93. Yeah, so 93 against Boston, 99 against Charlotte, and then 112, 102, 102, 105. So they couldn't score anything mostly above 105 there. So they need to get the offense figured out. I think Kevin Durant just needs to keep going, becoming that really, really reliable guy there. And here's the thing, KD's shooting 40% from 3 this year. I think it's one of the highest marks of his entire career. 2017, the Golden State had a 41% free throw or 3-point percentage, 45 in 2020 with Brooklyn, but that was a shortened season. But either way, he's shooting the three ball really well. He needs to keep going with that. Amen Thompson needs to get a little bit of consistency in his blood. He's honestly scoring like Jaden McDaniels right now. But it's also tough because Thompson literally can't shoot the three at all. He shoots at a 19% clip. But Wolves Rockets in a series, I'm going Minnesota just because of the depth off the bench. I mean, we just signed Mike Conley again. People, MC is in the build. And the next one would be Denver, and this is kind of where I start drawing the line. The way this team plays on a nightly basis is very unpredictable. I'm talking about this Wolves team, not the Nuggets. This Wolves team, super unpredictable. They could either come out hot or cold. And here's the thing: when you're having a cold night, some nights you guys are just not gonna be able to shoot. And I get that, but you need to make up for it in defensive pressure and just the defensive standpoint. You need to make up for it there because that can create easy points for you to kind of get it going. Some of these nights the Wolves aren't shooting. It looks like they decide to make it a lackluster night, not try on the defensive side. It's depressing watching it. When you see a first quarter where they're shooting 20% from the field, 18% from the field, you kind of know it's going to happen. You're like, well, here we go. Bad shooting night. We're going to lose. It's undoubted. The team, I mean, they had one big comeback. I forget who it was against. I forget who it was against, but the team has no fight after a little bit there. Either way. And then kind of like continuing here, I don't think they'd beat Denver right now. Denver were having a really good year. I mean, Nikola Jokic always having a great year, but Murray, they also have I think he's a rookie. I think I think so. I forget what his name is. Let me look it up here. Yeah, Peyton Watson is who I'm thinking of. He's averaging 15 points per game. He's not a rookie, but he's been a non-factor. They didn't play him, but he's injured right now with a hamstring, but he's having a good year for his third year in the league, actually getting extended minutes. He's shooting 41% from three. So yeah, Tim Hardaway also is having a really good year with them too, also shooting 40% from three. So they got some knockdown shooters. Christian Braun is now the shooting guard one, with MPJ being on the Nets. Yeah, they're deep. I don't know if we'd beat the Nuggets. I would hope that we would. I don't know if we would. San Antonio and Oklahoma City. I know we've beat OKC 2 out of the 3 games we've played them this year, but I can't see us right now until the Wolves can show some extended consistency. I can't say it after 3 wins here against the easiest opponents. I mean, like, you have the team, you have the players to go on a 8-9 game winning streak against some of the best teams in the league. Like in March, prove that to me by doing that. But for these 2 games, OKC and San Antonio, I can't see them winning a series against them right now until they show the consistency. But there we go. So right now, I can't see the Wolves making a run. I really can't. Just for the reasons I stated. The consistency needs to be there. Ant needs to lead just like he has, which I'm not worried about that, but I need a little bit of effort on the defensive side from Julius Randle, and he didn't show it at all in the postseason last year. Jaden McDaniels, I need consistency out of you. I know I'm using the word a lot, but Jaden McDaniels, one of the most hit or miss players in the league every night. Last night, well, let me read this. Jaden McDaniels last night, the stats look like this. 34 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 11 from the field, had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So a good defensive night from him. But 7 points in 34 minutes. I mean, we keep talking about Jaden, how you are literally figuring out how to score from all areas. You're driving this year. You're hitting the mid-ranges. Like, you're hitting the 3 ball at a very impressive rate. Right now, I think you're at 45.4% from 3. You only shot the ball 4 times tonight from 3. Ant's shooting the ball 15 times a night from 3. Give it to Jaden a little bit more, and we can make a couple things happen here. But Jaden McDaniels, 7 points in 37 minutes. But let me read you his last 10 games. The 7 points last night: 21 against Portland, 18 against Atlanta, 2 points in 30 minutes against the Clippers, where he didn't even attempt a three. That is insane. Wow. And then the game before that, the New Orleans Pelicans loss, 21 minutes, 6 points. Toronto, 19 points. Memphis, 29 points. He was 5 for 7 from 3 that game. And then you go OKC, he scored 21. Great game. Also was really good defensively that game. But the big thing in that OKC game, he went 5 for 5 from 3. And then Dallas, before OKC in January, there at the end of January, he had 8 points. One of the most hit or miss players on offense. You're always going to get it from the defensive side, but Rudy, keep doing what you're doing, except picking up these flagrant fouls. It's just stupid, but either way, Io, he's making an impact. I know he had a bad night last night, 1 for 5 from 3, but the scoring will come from him. He just needs to get the comfortability in this offense. So either way, people, there's your Timberwolves talk. We got some good things going on. Everyone, thanks for the support on the channel. Keep it coming. Give us some listener GM questions, which is basically just a question or opinion on the show, and then we'll talk about it on the show from wherever that comes from, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. So, yeah, everyone go follow the YouTube. Like I said, go follow the Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. And for Twin City Sports Talk, I will see you tomorrow.